Hello and welcome to this edition of the Filter Kaapi interviews. One person who has been going all out against Chandrababu Naidu, the former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, has been filmmaker Ramgopal Varma. And his latest movie is going to release this month. That's called Kamma Rajyam Kadapa Reddlu. And one person who is cast in the movie is a person who wears a number of hats, Mahesh Kathi. We know you as a filmmaker, a director, a writer, a film critic, a Dalit activist, a big boss inmate, ex-big boss inmate. Are there any other hats that you wear?
I think that's sufficient, I guess.
I think you need to have a separate cabinet for the many hats that you wear. But you are also playing a role. We saw you in a flash during in the trailer. What's the role that you are playing in this particular movie?
Uh, the role is essentially of a CBI officer who comes to investigate a case. It's a murder case. More than that, I'm not at liberty to deliver or divulge as such. But most of the people have this doubt that whether I'm playing CBI officer Lakshminarayana. Surely not, because the film starts at Jagan-like person taking oath as an APCM as after the elections in 2019. So by then, JD Lakshminarayana was already in politics. So surely not that role. It's a different police officer. It is a fictional character.
Now, from the trailer, what we have made is that Ramgopal Varma has not really cast Chandrababu Naidu in very glowing colors. He looks to be a very negative person who is looking to foment trouble in Vijayawada. What is the reason for Varma's anger against Chandrababu Naidu?
See, so far in most of the interviews, Ram Gopal Varma clearly said that it has nothing to do with the real people as such. So it is only his imagination, and the characters coincide the lookalikes.
Nobody's going to believe that.
Yeah, of course, Ram Gopal Varma has a liberty to say what he wants to say, and people have every right to believe what we want to believe. Even if Ram Gopal Varma says he doesn't mean politics or he doesn't mean the people like CBN and Lokesh, I also feel that he is actually taking a dig at them. By looking at the trailer, I feel, yeah, it is a political satire, for me at least. Obviously, after the elections, there is a lot of contemplation as well as thinking in Telugu Desam Party and disappointment, and they want to challenge Jagan's politics and Jagan's governance as such. On almost every account, every policy that Jagan is taking, they are trying to challenge it as a political party in opposition. But Ram Gopal Varma is not a guy who has this vendetta kind of a thing. He's a creative person. Even if he wants to take a dig at someone or maybe take a revenge, that is through film, and maybe he is doing that.
But I mean, you say there is no vendetta, but we saw what happened before the release of Lakshmi's NTR, where the Telugu Desam managed to ensure that the release of the film was delayed. It was not done. Then there was the entire airport drama. It surely looks to be some kind of a hitting back at Chandrababu Naidu for what happened in April, May.
Yeah, we can surely assume that, because Ram Gopal Varma is not a person who takes people very seriously, because he also doesn't want himself to be taken seriously. Maybe that 4 or 5 hours of waiting in airport might have at least triggered him to think in those lines, that why the hell am I here, and why are these people so adamant of stopping the release of my film and entering it into Vijayawada.
No, political satire is fine, but in this particular case, it's not a biopic. He's actually attributing motives to. I mean, everyone knows that who he's talking about. How fair it is, how ethical it is, how moral it is to actually attribute motives to the real life persona of Chandrababu Naidu while taking an assumed name and saying that he is looking to foment trouble in Vijayawada. Isn't that ethical on his part as a filmmaker?
See, in art,
Unethical, sorry.
yeah, in art there is nothing called as ethics and morality. Uh, it depends on the artist and how he wants to portray or depict anybody in any way. Most of the time, I think it's Chaucer, who is a contemporary of Shakespeare, once said, "If you insult me and I am a writer, I can do whatever I want to do in my writing. So be careful of the writer." So if one Varma has that vendetta also, that he is venting it on a screen, on a film. If the film is liked by people, that is fine. If it is so bizarre and people don't want to care about it, anyway, Ram Gopal Varma's films are not doing great on the box office. It surely increase that kind of an interest. But as long as that art which he is showcasing, even out of vendetta, we might assume, if it is liked, then only it will run. If not, people will ignore it
I mean,
conveniently.
it has kind of evoked a whole lot of curiosity because of the lookalikes. the Nara Lokesh lookalike, who, if I may say, the Pappu song, everything. I mean, he's kind of lampooned him extensively. The Pawan Kalyan lookalike, Chandrababu Naidu lookalike, everyone. I mean, it has definitely evoked a whole lot of curiosity. So it may actually end up doing better than many of his earlier Ramgopal Varma films. But are you expecting trouble from the TDP cadre on the ground?
See, TDP once bitten, twice shy, because earlier they had huge issues with Lakshmi's NTR. Maybe in Telangana also the film released at the right time, but in Andhra Pradesh, because of electoral thing, also their own opposition, film got stalled and released it later. So the film did not make much of a difference in terms of electoral decisions. So even in this film, it will come as a film, go as a film. If these people want to actually stand up against it, they are only making the film bigger.
It will provide it oxygen.
Obviously, because so far people are curious about the film. Once the film releases, if that is film is good, the first day talk will determine the weekend run. If TDP people take it so offensively and start promoting the film, at least all the YSRCP voters who have voted YSRCP into power will at least go and watch the film. We're essentially talking about 51% of the population. That's voting population. Right. So that is a huge number for any Ramgopal Varma cinema in recent times.
So he's looking at politics to determine the box office numbers.
Obviously, if Telugu Desam takes an objection, YCP people will own it. So if by doing that mistake, if Telugu Desam want to shorten at their own leg, it is their wish.
Okay, even the TDP guys may want to go and see it to see what has been shown, right?
Yeah, till you see it, you don't know it. So to assume that Ramgopal might have done that and done this is also would be a mistake. He might as well consider, like, though we assume by trailer that CBN is shown at a wrong light or a thing, you never know, that film might turn upside down and might have a different approach altogether. So unassuming Ramgopal Varma is a very difficult way to challenge. So till the film releases, we can't assume many things.
Right. Okay. I mean, Lakshmi's NTR was about a person who is no more with us, but this is about real-time politics in 2019. So it's definitely a very different kind of film. So all eyes will be on how KRKR, as the hashtag goes, actually plays out in the theaters when it releases on the 28th of November, right?
Yeah, 29th.
29th of November. Thank you very much, Mahesh, for talking to us.